were going for screams and instead got yawns. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 least scary horror movies. For this list, we're looking at horror films that didn't quite deliver in the scare department.
No! Don't do it!
Audiences may have been expecting to be frightened out of their seats in theaters.
I'm missing you already.
But were treated to boredom and maybe some unintended laughs. We can't quite tell if the filmmakers were going for frighteningly unscary or terrifyingly unterrifying.
You ain't even as big as my dick!
It's a toss-up.
What? No.
Number 10, Jason X.
Such a waste.
The most frightening thing about this movie is that filmmakers had been milking this franchise for over 20 years when this edition came out.
No shit.
By the 10th installment of this cash grab series, Jason Voorhees has proven himself immortal, what with not being dead after literally being sent to hell in the previous film.
I take it being stabbed and frozen wasn't part of your plan.
This time, he's in space, and he's still mad.
Okay, screw this, game over!
And we've gotta say, his murderous wrath seems really misguided this time, especially since it's over 400 years in the future. Number 9, Anaconda.
Anacondas are a perfect killing machine.
Throw Jennifer Lopez, Angelina Jolie's estranged father, and a bloodthirsty mammoth snake into the Amazon together, and you've got a recipe for either disaster or triumph.
I don't know, it could be dangerous.
Unfortunately, while we were supposed to be deathly afraid of the football field-sized reptile, we ended up rooting for it to just eat everyone so the movie would end.
We're not leaving! If it was you out there, you'd want us to stay too.
It's not that we didn't want to be scared of it, we just weren't. And that probably had something to do with the stiff acting and unintentional laughs it prompts.
Get off me!
Number 8, The Haunting.
I'm home. I'm home.
The only things haunting us in this film were its abuse of CGI, its ridiculous horror cliches,
I can't get out. Why would he let us leave?
and Owen Wilson's persistent squinty pouty face.
See you tomorrow. Okay.
A remake of the 1963 original, the film follows a trio of insomniacs who sign up for what is supposed to be a sleep study.
I don't know, nothing's ever really happened to me, so I don't have a reason to sleep badly.
Unbeknownst to them, they've actually signed up to subject themselves to a bunch of ridiculously mundane ghost antics.
What else could it be?
A couple of people may have died, but it still seems like these ghosts and screenwriters phoned it in.
Come on now! Come on! Come on!
Number 7, Resident Evil.
Poor bastards.
The creepy factor of this incredibly popular video game franchise didn't play as well on the silver screen as it did on the console. In fact, this movie seemed less like an interpretation of the game and more like an excuse for us to watch Mila Jovovich do stuff.
We needed something concrete.
Which isn't all that bad, but it's also not scary.
The subjects have the simplest of motor functions, perhaps a little memory, virtually no intelligence.
Also, it's got a strong anti-corporate message.
Corporations, like Umbrella, think they're above the law.
Little character development and meh dialogue.
There's a cure! You're gonna be okay!
While the gnarly zombie dogs did make a badass appearance, it was really bittersweet. The movie just should have been about them. Number 6, Thinner.
Oh, Your Honor, I object.
Stephen King is known for his dark take on pretty run-of-the-mill things like cars and hotels. So, of course, dieting seems like it would be up for grabs.
Billy, you were $297 last week.
After a portly attorney gets away with a hit and run, he falls victim to a Romany curse and begins losing weight like a deflating balloon.
What's there to worry about? I finally found a diet that works. Eat all you want and still lose the weight.
If none of this sounds particularly scary, you'd be correct in that assessment.
The important thing here is for you to relax.
It didn't even try.
We don't like to think about that, do we, mister?
We're thinking King originally released this one under a pseudonym for a reason.
Don't make me start, old man. Don't make me start! Take it off of me while you still can!
Number 5. One Missed Call.
That's not my ringtone.
It should have been called One Missed Movie for how hard moviegoers should have skipped this film.
But I heard them, okay?
It's an American remake of a Japanese original. And aside from lacking charm, it manages to be a horror film with none of the horror.
Any dead people call? We're not home.
There's a ghost that kills people after using up their anytime minutes to play them a recording of their deaths in the future.
That's your voice.
Candy is also involved, but scariness was skipped entirely. Not surprisingly, this was the worst reviewed film of 2008.
I know you can use the phone by yourself. You're a big girl.
Number 4. Jaws: The Revenge.
What?
By the 4th installment of this killer fish series, the shark has graduated from attacking innocent swimmers to stalking and premeditated murder. Apparently, the shark has been plotting its revenge
You never find that bloody shark, man.
against the family of the sheriff that wronged it all those years ago.
I guess that's bad.
Depends on your point of view.
After killing one son, it follows the rest of the family to the Bahamas, where it forms a psychic connection with the sheriff's widow.
I tried to tell you. I tried.
Actually, come to think of it, this movie is scary. Scary bad.
The breath on that thing.
You are alive.
Oh, let's get out of here, Ellen Brody.
Number 3. The Wicker Man. This movie is a bunch of things. It's a great advertisement for bear costumes. It gets kids interested in beekeeping.
Not the bees!
And it's a paycheck for Nick Cage.
Sorry, I'm Edward Malis from California. I'm a policeman. See my badge?
It's also absurdly and unintentionally hilarious.
Now, why in the hell would you let them do a sick thing like that?
But scary? No, not even close.
Yeah, I suppose.
The most frightening element of this film is its convoluted plotline.
I mean, come on. Summer's Isle? Where the hell is that?
And we're being generous. It involves kidnapping, neo-pagan ritual sacrifice, and like a parade or something. And for all of Nick Cage's screaming, there isn't even the slightest whiff of honey-scented terror. Number 2. The Happening. It's really difficult to manic pixie dream girl your way through a horror movie, but where there's a will, Zooey Deschanel will find a way.
I'm sorry?
In this M. Night Shyamalan clunker,
Listen, we just want some food for a little girl, you pussies!
Deschanel co-stars with Mark Wahlberg
Purple meant I was horny.
as they struggle to figure out why everyone is dropping dead around them.
Are you joking?
And it's probably the least terrifying excuse for a horror movie ever. And the most terrifying weak reason for mass suicide you'd ever hear. Short answer, the plants did it.
Something in this field could be releasing the chemical into the air when there's too many of us together.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable, or in this case, dishonorable, mentions.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my God!
nuts?
Number 1. Leprechaun.
See that? The buckles on me shoes? Why, I'm a leprechaun.
Back before Jennifer Aniston landed a role on a quintessentially 90s sitcom, she was battling a vicious leprechaun looking for his lucky pot of gold.
Okay, we've got to get this on the leprechaun.
We're hoping the filmmakers were going for over-the-top ridiculous instead of bone-chilling scares.
Oh, no.
Because watching a little person dressed as a leprechaun chasing a car while riding a tricycle isn't exactly scary. In fact, the whole movie is like the antithesis of scary.
Kill him! Kill him!
And the trend only continues in the sequels as the leprechaun moves his shenanigans to the hood.
I'm here to claim me golden shillings. Now, give them back, or there might be killings.
Boy, don't make me laugh. You out here trying to rob Jackie D?
Do you agree with our list?
The audience is never wrong.
What do you think is the least scary horror movie?
Get me out of here, Drew. Just get me out of here.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
No, I can't.
Sure you can.
No, I mean, I don't know how.
Yep, nobody does till they learn.